Hillary Clinton wants you to believe that President Trump wants to both lock up and even to kill his political opposition. She's only saying this because Democrats are actively trying to lock up President Trump as we speak, and they know what it looks like to the public. Even polling shows that Americans across party lines see the prosecutions for the nakedly partisan hit jobs that they are. And so Hillary is trying to accuse the right of what the left is doing in classic Saul Alinsky fashion. But what caught my attention was her talk about killing political opponents. Here's a clip of her making that argument to none other than Mark Elias, as President Trump once called him the Democrats' best election-stealing lawyer. Watch.
Trump was like, just gaga over Putin because Putin does what he would like to do: kill his opposition, imprison his opposition, drive, journalists and others into exile, rule without any check or balance. That's what Trump really wants.
Some have said they're trying to kill Trump instead of just lock him up, but that doesn't sound as far-fetched anymore after what we just heard Hillary say, especially if we view her comments through the lens of she's telling us what Democrats are actively doing by blaming it all on Trump to misdirect the public. And once again, talking about these criminal trials, with the first one currently open in New York, the coordination with the Biden White House is on full display. As my former colleague Jack Posobiec is calling attention to, former Merrick Garland official from the DOJ, a man named Matthew Colangelo, took part in delivering opening arguments against President Trump only yesterday. And before someone says, that doesn't mean anything because Colangelo resigned from his position with the government, well, friend of the show Will Chamberlain notes how suspicious it is that during a contentious election cycle, that the number 3 ranking official at the entire DOJ decides to leave his extremely powerful position in order to work backward in the world of career advancement and become a line prosecutor at a local DA's office, which just so happens to be the local DA putting the 45th president on the stand. Yeah, I wasn't born yesterday. Joining us now to discuss all this and more is William Wolf, a former senior official with the Trump administration. William, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So what do you make of some of the Biden White House fingerprints being all over these prosecutions of President Trump?
Well, it's the iron law of woke projection. It simply doesn't miss. What Clinton says she thinks Trump wants to do is exactly what they're trying to do to Trump. And the politically motivated lawfare that's being coordinated with the Biden White House is on full display for everyone to see. There's a quote from an old Peruvian general who later became dictator in Peru, Benavides, who said, "For my friends, everything. For my enemies, the law." And that's exactly what's happening here. Biden's friends, like his son, gets everything. No charges, skates free. But for his political enemies like Donald Trump, he gets the law. But in this case, it's a twisted, corrupted version of American law that should outrage every law-abiding American citizen.
No, it really should. And, of course, we saw more courtroom shenanigans going on today. We see the Democrat donor judge, I guess we should just call him in this case, much like Engeron in the other New York trial case. But you see the Democrat donor judge of today, Juan Merchan, and he's saying now that Trump's lawyers, that they're losing credibility in his eyes because they're fighting actively against the gag order that the judge has placed on President Trump. Because as President Trump keeps saying, how come everyone else and their mother can talk about me and can accuse me of everything, of X, Y, and Z, and then I dare and defend myself, and I'm somehow the bad guy who's tainting the trial. So the judge, of course, is not too happy with Trump's lawyers trying to basically overturn the gag order that he's placed on them. He now says today that he's reserving his judgment on the matter for a later time. But what do you make of these gag orders that really have been dogging President Trump from trial to trial?
Well, I think it shows us that Trump is the existential threat to the regime's power. And we have to remember that this extrajudicial and politically motivated lawfare and prosecution against Trump has been going on since before he even assumed the White House in 2016. Operation Crossfire Hurricane, launched by the Obama White House in coordination with the Hillary Clinton campaign. And so I think that they are deathly afraid of what will happen and what the truth will show if Trump gets back in 2024.